Dallas, Fort Worth, and this is another installment of my video wedding planning blog. And I have a special guest today.
Hi, I'm Cassie. I'm with Crown of Beauty. I specialize in wedding makeup and hair. And today I got to give Lizzie a makeover.
Yeah, so that's why I'm all done up and I have the hair and everything. And so basically we did it backwards. So this is like the final kind of product. And then during the video we will go in and she does my face and my hair. And we'll talk about why brides and grooms should consider going with a professional hair and makeup artist. Tricks and tips. I always get confused with that. That's like my brand or whatever.
I know.
But yeah, so like little tips and stuff for when you're hiring your person. Also kind of tips on how to like pick whatever style, like colors and all that. We'll dive into that here in a little bit, so enjoy. So really looking at the phone a lot here just to make sure it's in focus. But
Okay.
so as we were saying, why is it so important to like have hair and makeup hired or ready to go when it comes to like photo shoots in general?
Okay, photo shoots in general. So I feel like in our society now, everything is for the gram. Everything is for the internet, you know, for the World Wide Web to see. And so you want to make sure, first of all, that you're hiring a hair and makeup artist that knows how to do makeup for the camera and not necessarily for like natural sunlight, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's where all the photos are going to end up is online, right? Through a camera lens. So that's really important. I just feel like when I first started doing makeup, for instance, I would spend all this time doing makeup and hair. And then when the bride would get her photos back, it's like you could barely tell she had makeup on.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. So there's really like this learning curve of figuring out, learning the techniques of how to apply makeup so it shows up on the camera. Just like, you know, people say like the camera adds like 15 pounds or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it also takes away like 50 shades on your face. And so it's important to know and to find a makeup artist who is doing your hair and makeup, well, mostly your makeup, with the intention of like this needs to show up through a camera lens.
Yeah, and like in TV, for example, like I remember going into like the makeup room and stuff, and I would see all this blush and all this like bronzer, and so I'm like, why do you need so much?
Yes.
Like, you gotta look crazy in person a little bit, but then on camera, especially in HD, it looked really good.
Yes.
And so in pictures, I guess finding that balance to where you look like yourself still, but then like more polished.
That's one conversation I have with a lot of my brides, specifically in their trial. I just warn them, like, you know, we're obviously doing hair and makeup because you're gonna have pictures taken, you're gonna have video taken, and I want your natural. So they're really concerned about still looking natural.
Yeah.
Is a lot of the concerns I get. So I have to just prep them, like, it's my job to make you look as natural as possible on the other side of the lens, not in front of a mirror. So, you know, I just kind of prep them, like, it might feel heavy, it might look like a lot on the camera, but I promise you, once you get your photos back, you know, you're gonna look gorgeous, you know, you're gonna be really happy with it. So I like to have that conversation in our trials, so they're just prepared. So the day of, I'm not doing a lot of coaching and prepping and comforting and, you know, reassuring, you know.
I recommend like people that have, I call them bridal attire, or not bridal attire, but wedding attire sessions. So, because it can be, you know, boys and girls. But so would you have your trial when you're gonna take those portraits, or should you have a trial, then makeup for that session, and then your wedding? Like, how would that work?
So I think it would be really good just to communicate with your hair and makeup artist. So I do both hair and makeup, so I can speak for me, but some artists just do makeup and some do hair. So I'm just speaking for the one who does both. I do both. So with my clients, especially if they get a hold of me pretty far in advance of any engagement sessions or engagement parties, you know, I say, hey, let's schedule it on the day where like you're gonna use your fancy hair and makeup, you know?
Yeah.
And so not just like, you know, because I want them to wear the makeup that day. I want them to wear the lashes that day. I want their hair to go through like, you know, an event. And so that way we can no, this worked, this didn't work, this lasted, this didn't last, whatever.
Yeah.
Or, yes, I love the lashes, they felt fine throughout the night. Or, no, I can't handle lashes. Let's not worry about doing that, whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's one reason why it's super important. There's so much that goes on the day of the wedding, and I just feel like, me personally, I want to be a fly on the wall, and I want to be there, and I want to do my job and make the bride and her party feel comfortable and beautiful. I don't want to be a stress factor that day.
Yeah.
And so I think having a trial, whether that be the day you're doing bridals, go in and get your hair and makeup trial done that day, and so your hair and makeup's already done for your bridals, engagement session. Those would be good days to schedule it for, just so it has a little bit more intention, and you're actually doing an activity with the hair and makeup, so that'll kind of mock as the day of.
Yeah.
And then also, you're getting photos taken, so then you can see what your makeup looks like through the lens of the camera.
And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna stick to what you have in mind, and then just kind of make small tweaks the day of.
Yes.
And so I feel like, I think that's a good.
Yes, usually,
choice
always.
there.
And I'll make sure to tell, my clients, like, if the hair's too tight, or the curls are too tight, or the curls fell, or the curls didn't, never fell, whatever, or just think of things like that throughout the day. Lashes are a huge thing, like if the lashes start feeling too heavy, or you start feeling tired, if you feel like, okay, we're not going to do lashes today, those are just things I want them to think about.
Yeah.
And then on the day of, we already have those things worked out, so there's none of those decisions need to be made. Like, the bride I don't want my brides to make any decisions for me on the wedding day.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about what you're doing right now. Like, what's the vibe? Because I kind of just sat blindly.
I'm doing kind of just like what's on trend right now with brides, which is curls and braids, and that has been a trend for the last probably 3 or 4 years. So I'm putting in curls in your hair, even if the style doesn't necessarily have curls in it. If someone has naturally straighter hair like yours, I like to go ahead and curl it because that just gives me a little bit more texture to work with, and it helps the style stay. So I am going to do like a little top bouffant thing to add some volume. So almost like a quinceañera bridal blend.
Nice.
So
I didn't have a quinceañera, so maybe I'll just go home and dance with my puppies.
Go find a puppy. Go find a puppy dress. So this is a rose oil, primer oil. So I use this 2 reasons. It smells like roses, and so it kind of helps my client kind of breathe it in, and it kind of has a calming effect for the rose.
My perfume is that scent, the rose stuff.
And then also, I did just want to, because I am a licensed cosmetologist, I can legally touch your face with my bare hands.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes, it is
Cool.
a thing. So, if you get a Sephora or a MAC makeover, they cannot touch your face with their bare hands because they're not licensed estheticians or cosmetologists. So
it's like a
just
massage.
keep that in mind. Yes, when you're doing a trial with a makeup artist. So just be aware of sanitation practices. I've heard some pretty scary things. So and again, I use the prime oil, the rose oil specifically, because it kind of balances the pH of the face. So I can get even blending and even pigment distribution throughout the face. Because I would hate for one eyelid to look more pigmented than the other.
Yeah.
And then you get into the mistake of trying to build up your pigment more. It's just a whole mess. So primer is super important.
When it comes to buying the products that you're gonna use the day of, do you recommend bringing a lot of your own stuff, or should you just let the professional?
No, just let the professional use. If you have if you're a germaphobe, then I would say bring your own mascara and maybe foundation. I'm okay with that. But don't bring your own concealers and bronzers and brushes and lipsticks and
so essentially kind of stick to your foundation if there's one that you absolutely love, and your mascara.
Yes.
Okay.
So because I do have a client who she has very sensitive skin, and we do a lot of she does a lot of editorial work. She's an entertainer, so photography and stuff. And so when we do her hair, she buys Tarte, and it's been really good for her face. She doesn't break out when she uses it, so that's what she trusts. And so I go with it. So,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna do a little color correcting.
Okay.
Whenever I have brides, typically brides, they've been out the night before, and so there's like puffiness or whatever. So green cancels out red. So any red spots, I just put the green over the red spots. You don't have a lot of red spots here, but I'm just gonna, I want it to balance out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna basically do like a custom color for you.
Oh.
And also my concealers have medical grade alcohol inside of them. So just to notate that like touching it to your face and then putting it back in the bottle is not causing any type of cross contamination. And so I'm just applying the concealer in like highlighted areas, and then I'll blend it all together. So I don't like to just like, you know, on YouTube you see they like squeeze the foundation all over your face. Like that's not necessary at all. Especially if you tend to have oily skin. I would rather do less and try to stretch it out.
Yeah, and so you're doing concealer first.
Yep. Concealer. Not everybody needs concealer. Not everybody needs foundation. Not everybody needs both.
Oh.
Yeah. So again, one of those things that we see on YouTube and think that's part of the step, but that's not necessarily true. So I'm only doing concealer on you, not foundation, because that would just add too much oil to your face.
Oh.
So after I apply the concealer, just because we have different tone variants in your face, so I'm doing concealer, not foundation. And then I'm going to set it with powder.
Oh.
And so that'll absorb some of the oil as well. So this is a powder foundation.
So then, some people use the liquid foundation, but like the powder, like it doesn't necessarily, like you said, need to be all three of them. It can be either or,
right.
Or a
so because you have oily skin, I'm going to use a liquid concealer, and then I'm going to use a powder foundation. So that will soak up some of the oil that's in the concealer.
But then it's still full coverage.
Well, full coverage, yep.
Man, maybe I'm gonna have to change my routine.
And it will, you know, kind of prevent you from being oily the rest of the day. Okay, so now I'm going to do your eyes. And I usually always start with the crease.
And so are you going for like softer or full glam? What are we thinking?
Ooh. I definitely want to do lashes with you, so we might as well do glam. But like a bridal, like a night, like an evening wedding.
Yeah, alright.
So I really want to play with these colors, so if you don't really use them that often, I say let's just use them.
Yeah, go nuts.
Okay.
So this would be like if the ceremony were to be like kind of at sunset-ish and then like go into the night or whatever.
Yeah, like an evening wedding. Some of my more like dramatic, flamboyant brides, I'd say would go for this look, who aren't afraid of color. Usually it would be, you know, kind of like a fun spirited, not a super like, you know, stiff. So I do have, I call this my fairy dust. And really it just adds a little metallic to anything that I use. So I can put this over any color really, and it gives it like a metallic look. So with this pigment, I wanted to add just a little metallic look to it. Since we're doing makeup for a special occasion. If this makeup, like the palette specifically that we're using, could be used for like, you know, a dinner party or something. But when you add little elements like the fairy dust, or, you know, it elevates the look to bridal.
The spray tans.
Oh.
Yeah, that's something that I feel like needs to be discussed.
Oh my. Well, that's a question I asked. Look up for me is if they are planning on tanning, spray tanning or otherwise, because then basically, you know, the palette or the foundation, you know, color that I go with on the trial is going to be different, you know, than the day of.
I think as long as it's communicated, that way there are expectations, because you do have to I feel like certain skin tones and certain, you kind of can, it's all about light, so you can find better light to better suit them, and so the pictures come out better. But then if you show up and then someone has this like different, or they look a little bit different than what you what you originally thought, then you're gonna have to kind of on the spot figure it out, and it's just a little bit better if you kind of know what you're getting yourself
I mean, typically, if you have your full kit with you, it's not, you know, you just adjust.
Nice.
Refilling your brows.
Oh yeah, so talking about brows, should you just kind of let them grow out crazy and then shape them or do you just kind of go about your business? Like,
it's kind of like your hair. A lot of people grow out their hair for their weddings. If you're not happy with your eyebrow shape, then definitely grow it out as long as you can and then get them shaped at least like the week of. I come prepared with wax strips and tweezers.
Okay.
I'm not kidding you. I had to one time like trim a bridesmaid's eyebrow because she had this weird little like hawk thing going out, and I was like, I'm just gonna cut it. And
like
she's like, okay.
The little man from Up.
Yes, it was so weird, and so I was like, I'm just gonna cut it. And she's like, okay, that's fine. I didn't have time to get it done, and I was like, okay, let me just do this for you. Then I'll also do blush. So, but this is all what we discussed. And then I would place the blush under the cheekbone.
Oh. I always thought it was like on top of the...
If I was only doing blush, I would probably do a rotate up like I did with the bronzer, but I want it to look natural. And so the bronzer has highlighting elements to it, which is on the high part of the cheekbone. And so I want the pink look, the rosy look to go underneath where the apple of your cheek would be when you smile. So like if I was using a contouring stick, I would put the dark part here and the lighter part on top, the highlighter part on top. But instead I'm using the powder bronzer and powder blush.
And you know, some people were, you know, blessed with, you know, nice cutting cheekbones and stuff, but some of us weren't. So like, do you, like, that's really what like the contouring should be used for if you decide to go that route?
If that's the client's like desired look. Yeah. So if they don't express to me like I want cheekbones, then I'm not gonna put in a dark like contouring line. I did have a client specify like she wanted her nose to look super thin. She was pregnant and she was bridesmaid and she wanted her nose to look super thin. So I did do some contouring on her nose and her nostrils. So I think that just you know, has to be. So during the trial, I'll present like options, like lash options. So we can do either like these, which is super glamour. So
oh wow,
yeah, very nice. Full, dramatic lashes.
But they're so kind of like wispy. I don't know if that's a word. Like
this is a wispy. This is like a true wispy.
Oh,
so kind of compare. See. Yeah. So a little, still drama because they're wispy, textured, but they're also thinner than these are a lot more dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you pick. And
then we have natural, which we're not doing today.
No.
I'm not gonna let you do natural today. But I give this option, you know, for brides like who have never worn lashes before.
Oh yeah, because they can feel heavy.
They can feel heavy.
If you're not wearing them before,
but you know, the goal is we want your lashes to show up. And I love doing lashes in trial because lashes are reusable. All of them are. So, especially if you're using lash glue. So you just get like some makeup remover wipes at the end of the night, take your lashes off, clean them with the makeup remover wipes, and then you can reuse them as many times as they'll allow. So I just trim them, and now I'm going to put the lash glue on. This is a very delicate process. I get really close to the eyeball. Sometimes I feel like I miss my calling in ophthalmology. Like I should have been like an eye surgeon.
Yeah.
So this is a really good technique when you're doing false lashes. So I have this, it's like a makeup guard. And then this is a lash brush. It's like a fan brush.
There you go, yeah.
So
yeah, I can
brush.
see it. Yeah, we see it.
Okay, and then this is just like an eyeliner or an eyeshadow guard.
Okay.
So instead of using the wand of your mascara, especially because sometimes I'm using, you know, the same mascara on several different people, kind of for sanitation purposes, but also this technique is really good in covering the full lash. So I put it on my hand, and then I use the guard. So I take the guard against the lash and pull your eye up, so then I can paint over your natural lash. And that's gonna blend your natural lash into the false lash.
Yeah, that's important because then you have some sticking all over the place.
Yes. And I know it feels so weird. And then because your lashes, they're super straight, so I want them to blend in and curl. So then I do use a bronze set. Do your bottom lashes. So I would take the same guard, and I just kind of make sure the back is clean because it's going to go up against your face. And I put this under your bottom lash. So this way I'm protecting the liner I just did and your skin. And I can add mascara to the bottom lashes. Okay, so because we do have a bit of a dramatic eye, I mean, it's more on the subtle side, but we're doing like the pinks. I'm hesitant to do like a pink color on the bottom.
Okay.
But typically we'll just hold it, and so you can see. Yeah, and so that way I can see what it kind of looks like. That would actually be pretty nice. I think something like a little red might be too much, a little clowny looking. So I wouldn't want to do that. Okay. This one's a little more like blushy pink, which would be pretty cute as long as I did maybe just like one layer. But I think for us, I want to do like a matte, like a natural matte.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to go with this.
Okay, figured out how to focus them. Learning as we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this one. So I'm just going to use this brush. I keep a clear lip, like a chapstick. Just in case. By the time I get to the lips, we're like really dry, and I'm like, okay, put the chapstick on. But you are pretty hydrated.
Yay.
Or of course, you know, like the bride's been talking to like, you know, her family and stuff as she's getting ready, so looks really fine. This just adds a little bit of that like natural peachy color to your lips. And so gives your lips a little pop so they don't disappear in the photos. The two things I see disappear the most are lips and eyebrows. And then I may just do a little darker liner just so we don't get that lip disappearing. Then I would just like blend it in.
Wow.
So beautiful. So like drama in the eyes. Natural tones.
I like it. I'm glowing. It's really pretty.
So there you have it, the makeover, the final product, and yeah, we had tons of fun. Thank you for doing this for me.
Welcome.
And if you want to tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook anytime at Crown of Beauty, facebook.com/Cassie's Crown, or on Instagram at Crown of Beauty TXTN.
Alrighty, and you know where to find me at Elizabeth Couch Photo on Instagram, on Facebook, and my website. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.